That's right. We're kicking it off today, our wedding to remember, as we're giving away a fabulous wedding to one lucky military couple. Here is a woman who is all about flowers. As a matter of fact, that's the name of her company. Judy is with All About Flowers. You love flowers.
I love flowers.
What's not to love, right?
I know. They make me happy. They finish the look.
Yeah.
They're perfect.
And really, they change your room from just a space to a place that's warm and inviting and embraces you back.
They finish the room. I mean, you get the linens, you get everything, but they complete the look 100%.
Now, one of the things that you're seeing, I see we're standing here next to some white hydrangea and a beautiful orchid. This is typical of what you're seeing now, these whites, and also you said some other colors, blush and more traditional.
Exactly. I think whites have become very important. Blush is a color they like to add in. Very Victorian, simple. That seems to be the trend that we're seeing this year.
It seems like every girl nowadays wants to have that traditional wedding of being a princess on her special day.
She does, but then she wants to put the spin of her own. So we see a lot of looks from Pinterest, but then we sit and we figure out who she is and how we make it personal.
And I'm so glad that you brought that up, because that's how a modern girl really arms herself when she's planning a wedding, is by heading to Pinterest first.
Exactly.
And you do have to be aware of people's budgets, because when you see something on Pinterest, you don't really realize that can get pretty expensive. So how do you work with a woman and her budget?
What we normally do is see what her likes are. We go through the whole thing and then ask her if she has an idea of what she wants to spend. Then we try to tailor it, or we can make it bigger depending upon what her budget is.
I love that. Well, Judy, thank you so much, and thank you for providing these beautiful flowers today, because I have to tell you, they're gorgeous. Over here we have another guest, and he's asking me to be his guest. This is Shane of Be Our Guest, which reminds me of Beauty and the Beast. You guys run around your office singing the theme song?
We do hear that a lot, yeah.
First of all, tell me a little bit about, Judy was just mentioning there that we're kind of going back to the traditional way of seeing things, and that lends itself to a traditional table setting. What are you seeing with brides nowadays?
We are seeing, particularly in light of the recent royal wedding, a lot of a return to the princess kind of look. But really, like she said, brides are really aware now of all sorts of different looks. Because of the internet and social media and Pinterest, they come in with a really clear idea, and it's almost always just based on their personality and what they've always dreamed about. So they're able to pull their own look together, so it's not so traditional.
And I'm glad that you said personality, because so often, you really don't have a lot of time to spend with your guests on the day of your wedding. So when they go to the table, you're sending them a message of how you feel about them, how you feel about what your wedding says, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, and people just don't want a simple white linen and a simple white plate anymore. It's just adding a little bit of bling, adding a little bit of something kind of really unique and special, like this Tiffany china here, or a mirror, which can pick up a lot of color. And I agree, it really does show the guest that they're special.
Well, Shane, thank you so much for giving us just a little taste of how people will have their own tastings. I just want to step over here to Alice with Bean Counter Bakery, because you have some delicious options here. I'm just looking at the skirt of this very traditional cake. That's edible.
It is all edible. Everything is made with fondant and sugar paste.
And it's interesting to see the different types of cakes that we have here, because in the middle is those two owls right there, and it's kind of a more whimsical cake.
Yes, a lot of couples really love to put their personality onto cakes as well, and we've done a lot of different figurines, and these are original handmade sugar toppers, and they're also good for keepsakes.
Another thing that's popular, you say, is the groom's cake. We don't have an example of it on the table, but it's interesting because that's kind of more of a southern trend that recently in the Northeast it's been a way for a groom to get his personality into the wedding.
Absolutely. It's usually a surprise gift from the bride, and she just wants to give something to the groom, since she probably has most say in the wedding, and this is a great way for the groom to come in.
So if you have a groom who's a Bruins fan, you can do a whole Bruins cake.
Absolutely. Lots of beads and lots of blacks and orange, and sometimes they'll want the wedding cake to match.
I love that. You get to pick in our wedding what kind of cake our couple has. You also get to pick not only the flowers but also the table setting. So not only are our viewers getting involved because you're going to help us pick one wedding to remember couple, but also because you get to have some say on how that wedding is presented. We also want to remind people, if you head to myfoxboston.com, if you are a military couple or if you happen to know one, encourage them to go on our site and enter for a chance to win a wedding to remember. But this morning on Fox, we are kicking it off. Sir Bonnie,
Back to you.